All right, it's going. Okay.
Sweet.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so second session, you are now a Platinum 2 Doomfist from Gold 1, I believe?
I think
Yeah.
that's what it was.
Yeah, nice, nice, good stuff. Okay. So clearly some progress made, which is awesome to
Yeah.
see. Yeah. First things first, how are you doing with the big takeaways?
I'm doing so much better. I think I've learned a lot more than I thought I ever would, to be honest.
Nice. Good stuff, good stuff. Let's talk specifically. Let's talk in detail. What of the like which big takeaway do you think you've like made the most progress on? Which do you think you're still working on and that kind of stuff?
Let me look here.
I can
I
send it to
think
you
it
again
would
if you want.
be it would definitely be the positioning. The cooldowns,
Okay.
I think I still I feel like I waste them a lot still,
Hmm.
definitely. But I think I definitely cut back on just using them. Instead, I'm just walking. Instead of just using them, I just actually walk towards them because I don't need to use the abilities all the time.
Hmm.
And I definitely like I hide behind cover more.
Good.
I actually I play a lot better with the cover, and I use high ground. I use whatever I see on the map. I've learned a lot of the maps. I think my worst map. Let me look at my history here. Has to be Busan, to be honest,
Okay.
because it was just you know such an open map for me. I need to learn how to deal with the openness of them.
Are you talking about the one with the big drum in the middle?
Yeah.
Yeah, that tends to be like more of a sniper oriented map just because the sight lines are so long. And how about shooting tanks? Because I remember that was like kind of an issue.
I do still shoot the tanks, but I
Mhm.
also focus their backline and supports. I think there's moments where I do need to focus their tanks and stuff because I'm able to kill them
Okay.
and other things. I fought up against a lot of Junker Queens, so they were
Gotcha.
really easy to help with that.
The JQ's been popular
Hmm.
for a little while now. Okay. Good stuff. All right. Is there anything else you wanted to bring up before we start? Any, updates, questions, anything like that?
Um, Not that I'm aware of, no.
Nice. Okay. Cool. So real quick question. So why did you choose these VODs to go over? Because you sent me two, right? There's the longer Paraiso game and then like the really short Esperanca game.
I showed the short one because I want to see my gameplay. Like I wanted to
Ready
see it
for battle.
improve in those short matches. I think I did poorly for what I could have done,
Ready for
and I
battle.
think the was it the Paraiso one?
Hmm.
That one was a good one because there's just
5.
there. I like the point a lot on that map. I like the
Defend
first point because
objective
it
A.
has so much. It has so much similarities to other maps that I think it would allow me to expand more on them as well as the one I
Okay.
did.
Yeah. Gotcha. Alrighty. Sounds good. Alrighty. Let me pull up a couple things for you, and then we'll get started. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. So because we kind of already talked to last time about like how Doom works and all this kind of stuff, I don't think we need to do it again.
Yeah.
But just again, if I were to ask you as like a brand new player first coming to Overwatch, right? How does Doom work? What would you say?
Ooh, that's tough. I would say he works in a way of taking control of the map and space. He's never really like the he's not really a tank that you would hide behind. He's always a tank that would just make distractions and cause disturbances in their like setup and positioning and stuff.
Yeah, sure. Okay, yeah, I can definitely agree with that. Let me go ahead and get this started for you. What range of a hero do you think Doom is?
What do you mean by that? Like
Like, do you think he's
skill range
long
or?
range? No, I mean like long
Oh,
range hero, medium
no,
range
he's
hero,
definitely
close up.
close up.
Yeah, 100%. Right. Okay, good stuff. All right. And why do you think Doom is a tank? Like, what makes him tanky? And this is maybe the most important question.
His survivability, his escape routes and stuff. The way he
Yeah.
can move is definitely.
Perfect. Okay. So you said his survivability, right?
Mhm.
Now his survivability as as a tank is actually quite low, just in terms of pure tankiness.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's
go ahead.
it's all about the movement and the positioning and the way
Exactly.
you can move with it.
Exactly. So just to be clear, right, the reason that Doom is tanky, right, your survivability is your mobility.
Mhm.
Okay. So we can actually like straight up remove this. It's like it's an equal sign. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Okay, cool. So one thing I want to point out is that, um, obviously, like if you just spam your mobility, then you don't have it for when you need it, right? So the question is like, oh, generally speaking, when do you need mobility?
Usually to create an engagement, but you always don't need it. You mainly need it to get yourself out of positions that are not
Okay.
suitable for you.
Yeah. So basically, when you're in danger, right?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So what specific things are actually a threat to Doom? Because honestly, like, there's not too many things with how
I would
survivable and VOD and all this kind
say
of stuff.
definitely being in a bigger crowd. Like if you're with like if there's three people and they're all kind of grouped up,
Mm-hmm.
you can't really you have to kind of go for the solo or duo picks. You can't just go for like the whole team at once. And
Okay. There's some caveats to that, right? Like, so obviously,
yeah,
like a
like
powered punch can like punch a whole team at once,
oh
that sort of
yeah.
stuff.
I think it's just from my experience going into a
Mm-hmm.
whole bunch of people just never works out,
Mm-hmm.
especially if they're like Cassidy or people that have like
Ah.
CC and stuff like
Ah.
that.
Perfect. 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 Good. 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 So danger is CC, right?
Mm,
Basically, things that are going to mitigate your mobility are life threats to you, right? So stuff like,
yeah,
honestly, Brig Bash, Hinder, Hog Hook, Junkrat Trap is another big one. What else? Like certain boops can just mess you up, like if they hit you at
yeah,
a very unfortunate timing, right? So yeah, yeah. So danger is really CC, and obviously like huge damage things like can be very threatening too, especially like you said if it's like from multiple angles because people are all grouped up, right? But
mm,
with Doom's kit, like obviously he can like survive Diva Bomb very comfortably.
oh yeah.
So you just need to like be aware of what your actual threats are, so
Mm.
that you can use your mobility, which is all tied to cooldowns at very specific times to either dodge or avoid them. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
Okay, cool. So let's watch the video.
The conflict has found us.
So talk. Whoa. So
Yeah.
talk to me about why we
Defend
hold
objective A.
here.
Hmm.
I don't
I
necessarily think
think
it's bad, to be clear. I just
I think holding here is more. It's a smaller playground to fight in. It's
Mhm.
definitely it's a chokier. Like it's a big good hold. They can't go anywhere except for those points, and I can easily get to them.
Yeah. So
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 if I held further in, it would be easier for them to just go past me.
gotcha. Yeah. So I agree to an extent, right? Like, so before we talked about how we want to set up in places where like they're
Hmm.
forced to walk into us, so we don't even have to use cooldowns to get there, right? So somewhere
Yeah.
like here, it like does achieve that to an extent, right? Um, so I from that perspective, I think it's good, right? Because they have to
Hmm.
walk into you, right? And so whatever path they come out of, they kind of have to walk into you, right? That's fine. With the caveat that if they have a very mobile comp, they don't
Hmm.
actually have to walk through these lower grounds, right? They can just come up to the
No,
high
they could
ground
just go
and
up or
yeah,
just even
exactly.
go through.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't know about through, but what do you mean
Well,
through? As in,
through the top and the sides and stuff, like they
yeah,
could
yeah,
just
yeah.
get there too quick.
Right. So when we don't know their comp yet, and obviously like this early on, we don't know. It's
Mm.
better to hold high ground because you have the option of dropping down without using an ability. Whereas if they are
Okay.
forced, if they're like going to avoid you and go above you, then you have to use an ability to get there. Does that make sense?
Bro, you'd have to use slam or walk up or
Yeah,
so there's all
exactly.
and it would take time.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So it's better to like again just to get information, do whatever you got to do, poke from here if you need to. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And then alternatively, just as like another like a cheeky trick with Doom, you can do is you can actually hold right here, so that
Oh,
if
and then once they
somebody
come up,
jumps here, then you can punch them into your team, or if they walk bottom, then you're already here to like to threaten that and all that kind of stuff.
okay, that's actually a
Um,
good spot.
but that's not like an always thing. That's just more of like a cheeky
Yeah.
thing to do. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
don't yeah don't put too much weight in that. But yeah,
Hmm.
okay. So does that make sense? Why I say holding high ground is better than holding down here?
Yes, definitely. I think it's a lot
Okay,
better to hold up there.
cool. Okay. Um, now this
Yeah,
obviously,
this was interesting from me.
yeah. So talk to me about what's going through our head. Like, why do we make the decision to like hard
Um,
commit here?
I saw the Genji low, and I didn't realize that he went behind already. I thought I would have had time to get there, and I feel like the slam might have killed him because he had no
Okay,
deflect, he had nothing. I probably could have finished the kill, and then I could
sure.
probably punch out quickly because
Okay.
from what I saw, they had nothing to stop me, and then I saw the Ana.
Well, that's the thing. Because we don't know what they have yet. That's the biggest concern, right? Like, if you knew that they didn't have Ana, you know what I mean, and this Genji's this low, then, like, sure, fine, go for it, right? But we don't know what they have, so this is already kind of, like, suspicious from that perspective, right?
Yeah.
And then, what I was afraid of happening is this. This
Missing
is,
the
like, the
punch.
worst thing to do, right? Not missing the punch, because I don't think it's even possible to hit him here. I mean, maybe if you, like, angle it, but, you know.
Yeah.
But deciding to punch in the first place is going to get you killed. Because they have an Ana, because now you don't have, again, your mobility is your survivability.
Yeah.
And so now you're stuck here with no cooldowns, and you know, this Ana's not going to die from a singular punch like this, right? So she can just sleep you easily, right? So again, like, information, you're, like, sorely lacking on information, right? And then we make, like, a very, very aggressive decision, like, despite that. Does that make sense? Okay. So, I mean, honestly, like, you should die here, but we'll see what happens. Nice, you do get the kill. Yeah, and then the Ana just misses the sleep.
Yeah.
So we go on. But yeah, I think the rest of this is fine. Because it's okay to choose to commit on this, because now we have cooldowns back again, right? So
and they also had no sleep. That was what was in my head.
Yeah.
They have nothing to fight against it.
Yep. I think this is all fine. I think this is fine too.
I'm mainly just trying to bait out that sleep so I can go for a better angle here. Because if I tried leaving that, I thought I would get slept really easily. Because I didn't know how good they're. Yeah, like, I feel like if I even just tried walking in the center or punching through, I would get slept in the middle, and then they'd push up.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean,
so because she was just directly in the middle.
I see what you're saying. So I mean,
I
like,
could go
the
around that.
easy solution to this. My bad. Oh my goodness, where's my mouse? There it is. The easy solution to this is punch this way, right?
Yeah.
Or just punch across. You know what I mean? Either way, you're fine. But, you know, I don't hate you holding here, because, again, like, your team is able to follow up, right? Your Torb's here, your Ana's here, right? Let's say you do bait sleep out, right? Let's say she just fires it, like, you know, willy-nilly, trying to like, hit you with it, right? The problem with baiting sleep out this early is it doesn't really matter, because if you
There's
push
nothing
them,
I can.
they're gonna fall back here, and now your team has no follow-up, right?
Yeah.
So you're not gonna kill them here anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wasn't planning on pushing them. I just I think I had a fear of sleeps in the beginning of the fight, because I just thought I'd get slept and rolled instantly. Because the last game I had of this, the entire game, the Ana just kept hitting sleeps, so it gave me, like, PTSD.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Fair enough. Nice block. Nice getting out. Stable card punch behind it.
I've learned a lot how to just hold on to that power punch and just wait for good opportunities to use it.
This is what, again, I don't like, right? Because you should die here, right? The brig responds, like, honestly, like, close to perfectly, right? She like she counter bashes your punch, right? And so you should die. But the reason that we should die here is not because we decided to aggress on the brig, but it's because we used both cooldowns to do so. Does that make sense? So here, right? If we're going for powered punch, like, that's fine. But we don't need to even power punch the further target, right? Oh, what the heck is going on with?
Yeah,
All right. We could power punch here, or, like, wait for the Ashe to walk up, or we could hide in this room and power punch this way, right? Like, but we're choosing to reach for a farther target just because that's the thing we see first, right? And so now, now we're using our slam to set up the punch.
This is your warning.
And then now, of course, you know. Okay.
Just get shredded. Yep.
Things work as they should.
I've come too far to stop now. I'm with you.
Actually, I think it's worth talking about. Okay, so let's quickly just, like, hypothetical scenario, right? So the reason I feel like we're so antsy about hitting this, like, so quickly is because we know, like, the wrecking ball's over here and, like, shooting our team and all this kind of stuff, right? And that's true, but don't get overly anxious, because their team is still rounding this corner as that's happening.
Yeah, they were still way back there.
Yeah, so as long as you're able to hold this line, you know what I mean? Like, very patiently, very, like, sturdily, like, this wrecking ball's not really much of a threat, because he's like 1v4, right? But as soon as you blow your load, essentially, right, and like you know, spend your currency, you know what I mean? You're not gonna have anything left, right? So just be patient, is I guess is what I'm. goodness.
Yeah, I got so low
goodness.
there. That was so.
So what was the
lucky.
mistake here? Do you think?
Definitely committing, over committing. I was going after the ball. I should
actually
have.
don't think like using the punch here is an overcommitting, right? The mistake here is again like what is the thing that's going to kill you? What is your threat?
Their entire team is just there. I don't have a.
No. Let's be specific. There's one specific thing that we kind of talked
Ana.
about, right? Yeah.
Definitely
what about
Ana.
it? What about
The
it?
CC.
Yes.
Yeah.
So blocking in front of the Ana like this, right? Easy sleep target. Like if the Ana's not really bad, you know what I mean? Like she'll hit this 10 times out of 10, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So blocking is the mistake, right? The punching I think is fine, but as soon as we realize we miss it, you just need to immediately slam out. Does that make sense? Here, like, oh my god, we really should die.
That's like 17.
Yeah, 16 or 17 or something like that.
My supports were great this game, the entire game. So the supports were great this entire game. So
yeah. Just bailing you out. Yeah, and then again, we do the same thing, right? So if we don't kill this Ana, oh my god, we should.
Yeah.
But luckily the team follow-up is there. So nice. And back to cover, back to your home base here. What's your green light here? Why did we commit so deep?
Ult.
Okay.
That definitely gave because I have an escape route.
Yeah.
And I can definitely put more confidence and see if I can get them to use ults too.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because
absolutely. Okay, but here's the thing, right? Do we even need to kill them right now?
No.
Why?
They are falling back so far that they're in a position that I like. But I think I overcommitted here. I did not need them to go any farther back. They were in a spot where, like you said, with the line and stuff, that they were in a good, just holding spot.
Yeah. So what I'm kind of getting at is that like if you were on offense, right, and the point is like this way, then yeah, I think it's like more reasonable to do this, right? But you like the art of doing less on Doom is like super underrated. You know what I mean? It's like the curse of mobility. Just because you have the option to do something doesn't mean you should, right?
Yeah.
And so right here, like you're perfectly content with just letting them like group, just let them do their thing. Right? Choosing to go in like this is like pure greed. You know what I mean? You're just farming clips essentially. You're just farming. Right. So here, like and I know you're gonna live because you have ult and all this kind of stuff. But there's just like no need to do this. Right?
No need to waste any of this stuff.
Destroy them. Heroes never die.
Yeah, I think the rest of it is okay. I think the rest of it is fine.
I have a keybind for one of the emotes that was binded from years ago, and I still have it.
Face my burning fist.
Oh, that's really unlucky.
Yeah.
It's like even with like that new Doom buff, he slid off. That's crazy.
Enemy
This is a part where I just kind of mess up.
Yeah, because again, like we're so deep that like we are trying to get out with the other cooldown. We're just not even close enough, right?
Yeah,
so
there's just
where like some creativity with Doomfist's cooldowns need to come into play, right? So instead of slamming back this way, or even instead of punching the Genji here and then slamming this way, right? What could we do?
I could go up top, definitely.
Yeah, you could do that, or even safer, potentially, like more guaranteed for your survival, is to go this way.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that's an area over there. I'll be honest, there's a mega over there and everything.
Yeah. Just punch slam out this way, or you could even go deeper into their spawn and just like get.
I did that one game, and then my entire team, like the backline, just crumbled after that.
Yeah,
so I was worried.
That is the threat, right? Like you obviously have to be like aware of that, right? But the problem is like no matter what, you have to fully get out anyway. No matter how you do it, you have to fully get out. That's because you were positioned so far up here. That makes sense. Yeah. So the mistake is not like, oh, I went here and like that, therefore my team died. No, it's like I had to go here in the first place to live, and that's why my team died. Right. use this for sure.
Yeah. We actually, I think, got points still. I think.
What do you mean you got
No,
it?
no, wait, never mind. I'm thinking of the first match.
60 seconds.
I wanted to, but then I didn't. I remember there was one where we actually came back and got point like at the last second and held
the
it.
payload.
I don't remember if it was this one or a different one.
Very risky, right?
Yeah.
Very risky. And then this is like that bad habit of sniper punching, right? That we kind of talked about in the first session, right?
That sneaks in there.
Yeah. They're like, oh, I can get him. I can get him.
Then just
Again, importantly, there's like not even really a need to kill him there.
no.
Here, I know you have your ult, so yeah. Nice kills though. Nice stuff.
As though I needed a challenger. The future has no place for you.
Terrible on nano.
Yeah, I didn't expect the nano. I was just going into kind of contest payload and just pushing back.
Yeah, even something like this is like very, very risky, right? Because
Yeah.
where's their honor? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if you know she's on the right side, but even if you do, right? Opening this angle here, where now she can sleep her block, is like super, super risky, right? And she's like happens to unpeak because she's like, oh, my team's taking damage, so I need to go heal. You know what I mean? Or you know, I'm getting shot at from here. But really, she could have just stayed here and just slept here. You know what I mean? So this is very, very
And I have no
she does
get
nade
out.
you actually.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. Actually, I don't know if you saw this, but look at this. This is crazy from the monkey's perspective. Watch this.
You're powered down. Get in there.
Oh wow.
No, not this, not this. Ready? It's about to happen in 2 seconds. Ready? Here it is.
Helden sterben nicht.
They're no joke.
He got stuck. That's so upsetting.
Doomfist has Doomfist E has this weird property where if someone is like a certain distance on the ground or above it, it like pauses them for a second. So his
Weird.
jump just happened to get caught by that, and so now his jump is just cooked. That's crazy. Yeah. Honestly, like super goated E, like whether or not you meant to, you know what I mean?
I see
Nice. And then here's the mistake.
Yeah. Going in further because I was low.
Well, yeah. Well, it's not just
Sleep.
this. Even if you're full health, right? You should die here.
CC. Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. Because you don't know the status of Ana's sleep cooldown. You don't you're going in. You're spending both cooldowns to get in, right?
Yeah.
It didn't matter if you had like 1,000 health. Or just
Yeah. This was just weird. I just felt like I couldn't kill them the entire time. I just kept whipping. So I was like, my brain was ready to be dead, and I was like, okay, cool. I'll just.
yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I'm alive. Crap.
Insane nade from there.
Yeah, they held the point pretty well here.
I will strengthen this Hello there. Thank you.
Nothing with nano.
Raise your strike.
It's all fine. Good. So this is actually like an example of going further is you getting out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is fine, right? Because you're like putting so much pressure, you're drawing a lot of tension backwards, right? But you're notice that you're not in actual any danger of dying. So that's the important thing.
Insignificant. Hello.
I could have went through the middle there, but
No, I think this is fun.
yeah.
This is not good.
No.
So if you have block, just block. You know what I mean? Like this, like it's not worth trading shots for the Reaper. He'll like,
he'll just heal
99 times out of 100, he'll do more damage than you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the trade is not worth it here. Just block. Yeah, now he gets you really low, and then this punch should have been a punch back. It's like a punch out. You know what I mean? Now you're dead, even if you do block. Yeah. There's kind of an order of operations thing there.
Yeah.
I'm not finished.
Stand strong. We can do this.
Greetings.
This is
Talk
just
to me.
stupid.
Talk to me. Yeah, what's going on?
I don't actually know what was in my head. I think I was just kind of mindlessly playing after this, and I was like, okay, let's just go into here and die real quick.
It's both support cooldowns, man.
Greetings.
I didn't even know they had a Sombra at the time either, so it was
Yeah, I
just
mean,
so
I don't blame
unlucky.
you for not knowing the Sombra thing, because, you know, you just swapped. But I do blame you for going this deep.
Yeah, no, this was just dumb. I don't
Both
even know why.
supports with full cooldowns, yeah.
10 seconds.
Let's see
This
what
is your warning.
Heroes never die.
Overtime.
the team is telling the line. And then again, right? No need to actually punch in here, right? We have time, right? We can
Yeah.
set up here, get your cooldowns back, and then set up, like, you know, slam here or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Again, they're just feeding you your powered punch, so we take
Yeah.
Talk to me. What do we know if Ana has sleep?
I think I heard it, but I don't think so.
I think she has it. Yep, she has it, right? Yep, and there it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and if this Sombra were better, like, you would just be dead, right? Like, you
Oh, yeah,
she
100%
wakes you
they
first,
would've.
and then she hacks you. You know what I mean?
I like.
Duplicating armor.
Yeah, now that you know she has no cooldowns, yeah, go for it. Yeah. Okay, so this is first round. Any questions after the first round here?
Ready.
Is there ever a good way to tell when they have sleep or don't? If I
yeah.
just jump into the fight like without any
Okay,
knowledge.
So I was gonna say this towards the end, but we should definitely talk about cooldown tracking, right? Cooldown tracking for Doomfist is probably one of the most important skills, because it again, it tells you whether or not, like, how scared you need to be, right? And then because your movement abilities are not, like, they don't have, like, long durations. I mean, it's like very high burst mobility, right?
Yeah.
You're basically, you have to know the time that the enemy wants to use them, and then use yours to dodge them, right? So if you know Ana has sleep, like, for example, you know you cannot block in front of her, right? Same thing with, like, Hog Hook, Sombra Hack, all this kind of stuff, right? So you need to use your burst mobility to dodge it. So cooldown tracking is, like, super, super, super important for Doom. And if you don't know whether or not she's used it, you just have to assume that she hasn't. Okay. Now here's the thing, right? There's a lot of ways to tell if she has, right? One is if your teammates call it out, right? That's, like, the easiest thing, like, oh, Ana no sleep, you know what I mean? Something like that. Two is if you hear it or see it yourself. So you got to pay attention to what, like, the Ana Tracer sleep looks like, or the sound of, like, the little, you know, the little pew, you know, that thing.
Yeah.
So you got to start paying attention to that kind of stuff, right? And then you know, things like Hog Hook, obviously, seeing Brig use her bash. Let's say she wants to cross a sight line and she's, like, trying to cross a choke or something like that, and she uses bash. It's like, okay, now I know I can't get counter bash for the next, I don't know, like 5-6 seconds, right? That kind of thing. Does that make sense? Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I think I cut out.
I was still listening.
Oh, okay. Did I cut out?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. All right, cool. So yeah. So cooldown tracking is super, super important, and it's going to educate you on, like, how aggressive you can get, right? And then, of course, like, if in a vacuum, right? Like, how do we get them to use these cooldowns? And a lot of times it's, like, the stuff where I talked about, where you, like, slam in and then immediately punch out, or you punch somebody and then immediately slam out, right, to dodge those cooldowns. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Okay. Now, what on their team, and you know, this is, like, a pretty big change from what they were running before, right? What on their team do you have to worry about now?
Well, the Orisa, the Mei, and the Cat.
Yeah.
Their
what about
entire
them?
team. For the Mei, they can wall me off and cut off a section of me escaping or going in. The Cassidy because of his CC, and then the Orisa because they're just a brick wall.
We'll be specific, right? Because again, there's times
okay,
where
I can't punch. If I punch at them and they're using their shift, I forget what the ability was called.
fortify, right?
Yeah, fortify. It allows me not to punch, and I just slam into them. And also their javelin spin actually does a lot against me because it's just a boop, and then their javelin throw because it's just a CC.
So the spin messes up your leap because your leap can get booped, but your punch can't.
Oh yeah.
Right. So punch beats spin. It's like a little bit of like rock paper scissors.
Okay.
Punch beats spin. Spear beats block, punch, and leap. Right. So spear will beat everything, and then fortify only beats essentially punch. Right. Because you don't really care about like slamming and all this kind of stuff. Right. Like against fortify, it's fine. Right. So when she's spinning, then you can punch. Right. When she's fortifying, then you can slam. And then when she has spear, again, like try not to block in front of her unless
she does an honest sleep dart.
Yeah, exactly. It's not as damning as honest sleep dart, right?
No, but it can mess up some things. Just don't block in front of them.
Exactly. Well, I don't want to say like always because
whenever I know that.
Yeah, because actually, so another interesting property about Doom Block is that things that hit him that do damage and stun, the damage will register first and then the stun. So
yeah,
like
I saw that.
And, so you can still get powered punch out of it.
That's
have to be like you just have to plan for the fact that you will not be blocking once it hits you. Okay. Yeah. So everyone on their team now has a cooldown to like mess with you, right? So this is like your job's about to get harder, but it's still very very doable, right?
Oh yeah.
Because if they use all of it on you, you know what I mean, then your team should be chilling, right? And especially if you can live and they use all on you, then your team is big chilling, right? One small addition to this is two things is ice block can also kind of mess you up, right? Because if you go for like a big powered punch on ice block, it actually won't trigger because you don't actually hit them.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is whip shot. Okay.
Oh, because it's a boop as well.
Yeah, because
I've seen that because if I'm slamming up, like if I slammed up into the top area, they could just boot me back and I just fall to the bottom.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. But when you get booped when you punch, your punch can like chew through it. You know what I mean? Okay, cool. So now we have like a general idea of like how to play around these things, right? Because like it's not like all these things will deny all of your cooldowns, with the exception of spear, hinder, and sleep, right? But hinder is not like block is. Make sure you have block if you're gonna go on a cast and use hinder, right? So it's really just like spear and sleep, right? Okay.
I've seen. I don't know if it was me and just I was like bugging out, but I've been able to block the hinder before. Like
so hinder doesn't stop you sleeping or you're blocking. It's not a stun. It just takes away your movement abilities. That's all. So yeah, you can absolutely block hinder, right? And if you get hindered, you can immediately block, right?
Okay.
So that's why I'm saying like you just make sure you have
that
a
makes
block
more
when
sense.
you engage in a cast, right? Cool. Alrighty. Good stuff. Okay, so if all these people have all these cooldowns, right, and they're like obviously pretty aware of you because a lot of these swaps are probably targeted against you to some extent, right? What's like one universal way to avoid a lot of CC, a lot of these abilities?
It's just mainly actually for me now distance. A lot of it is a big distance thing.
Yeah, true, but again, Doom's a short range here, so he kind of has to eventually get close, right?
Just it's the movement. It's how I play against like moving around, trying to waste their cooldowns. I'd have to go like see if I can get to. I don't remember what I did here. I think I went high ground stupidly, but it worked.
Okay,
I think.
So what about the movement? So obviously, like in a vacuum, right? If you just use movement at a cast or at an Orisa, right? They're gonna flash you, spear you. You know what I mean? They're gonna block you every time. So how can we increase the success rate of like how we use our movement?
I actually don't know. This is a good question.
Okay, let me ask you this, right? What do you think is going to be more successful? And let's say we're slamming, okay? This slam or this slam?
Slamming from the back would be more successful.
Why?
They might not be paying attention.
Yes.
There is more openness.
Exactly, right? Just basically changing your angle of approach, right?
Okay.
Just using an angle they're not 100% paying attention to is going to be a lot easier, right? Starting, like, it's all going to be from where you start and, like, where you end. Does that make sense? Perfect, okay. So yeah, so one thing I want to like watch out for is like seeing how you like where you start your abilities from, and seeing like how that's going to affect your success right here.
Okay.
Defend objective A.
Yeah. This was the bad idea that happened. Everything was used on me there.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
And it's worth it for them too, right? Like if they don't have to be afraid of anything else for the next few seconds.
Yeah. I didn't realize they switched until after too, so that might have been the
yeah, so
the cockiness
you're,
showing.
Like very impatient, right? Like you just need to you need to know what they have in order to know what you need to dodge. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So this is just very antsy. Good, a little bit more patience. Nice. Good. Yeah, so it's nice that you have your powered punch, but again, honestly, like do what your Sim's doing, right? Just walk past them. You have the mobility to, right? Stabilize and then engage from an angle they're not really looking at, right?
Yeah, mainly my entire team is actually just like either distance or they're gonna play close to the soldier and stuff, so I could just go wherever and they'll be able to live.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. And even if they weren't, like it's still your responsibility to not like again, like think of this as a giant wall of damage, you know what I mean? It's your responsibility to not throw yourself against the wall. You need to like find a way around it, you know what I mean?
I am at the objective.
Yeah, I'm afraid, yeah, you're gonna oh, but the cast presents itself, you take the nice. And I think this is fine, right? So when somebody could say like, oh, isn't this like a sniper punch? You told me not to do this. And no, the answer is that like you were already engaged on him at mid-range, you got him low already, and then you use your punch to finish him. I think it's fine. Nice. And then again, you have to really be careful about this, right? Because you don't know if Ana, again, your biggest threat is Spear and Ana, right? You don't know the status of these cooldowns. So as soon as you punch in here, you should be either looking to hide behind cover, like this car.
Slam, like I could slam further in the back there where the Ana stuff is.
Slam out this way, exactly. Perfect. Because here you almost get.
I do get speared, I think. I don't remember.
This is crazy. Wait, I wanna... This is actually nuts. This is like ultra instinct. Like, look at this. There's the sleep. Hold on. Sleep misses by that much, and then.
Wow.
Okay, alright, never mind. I thought that was
they just ignore me.
I thought that was the spear. That was just a nice.
That would have been funny.
Yeah, it's nuts.
I say ignored me. I thought they would have.
I think they just used their abilities. Like they didn't have the ability to the spear
Oh yeah.
so that they just looked at something else there. That's crazy. Good. Yeah, fine. Nice. Yeah, huge. I like you focusing squishies here. This is good.
Rally here.
I realize I'm not gonna do much against the tank there.
Yeah, exactly. And importantly, right, even still, like, I don't know if you knew it at the time, but, like, I think you heard the Brig over here against your Ana. Yeah, which is why you, like, turn a little bit to the left. Yeah. But then you choose to shoot the Orisa, because that's, like, the only thing on your screen. But, like, again, like, it's worth spending the cooldown to get here first, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys can do this anyway.
Affirmative.
Come here and I will heal.
Well done. Greetings.
Objective A captured.
Hello.
Escort Ash.
Oh, this is where I realized that tiny rooms with a lot of CC and just this just does not. I don't like it at all. It does not work, and I never did it again.
Oh, so one thing I was going to commend you on is I like that you're coming from a different angle here, right? Instead of like running it down mid.
I thought it would have been a good idea.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I mean, like, this in and of itself is fine, right? Like this is fine, right? You're creating space. You're pulling attention from the off angle. You're doing your job as a tank.
Yeah.
You're not in any danger of dying, right? It's what happens after that might be the mistake. Yeah, exactly. Choosing to walk in like at their team very slowly, like this is the mistake. Because now you've put yourself in a position where even if you had full cooldowns, like you wouldn't be able to get out because you're in. You know what I mean? So if you want to like punch here and then immediately slam to high ground, I think that's fine too. You know what I mean?
Okay, that actually.
Or punch here and then slam out this way. You know what I mean? And continue milking this angle, right?
Okay.
But the initial
This
idea
is
to
your
punch was
warning.
not the problem. I think that was fine.
Yeah.
And then this is the
just,
sniper.
yeah,
punch,
this
right?
is the
This
yep.
is no bueno. Hinder, slept. And now we can't do anything, right?
Driving the
Yeah,
payload
I have
forward.
nothing to go in with, and I'm just getting.
Honestly, you should be happy the Orisa just speared you. You'd be dead
Yes,
otherwise.
I was.
Conflict charge.
Nice, taking the other angle. I like it. Maybe. Okay, going back to main.
Yeah.
Okay, we have our abilities. Yeah, and then again, like we just don't know what we don't know if they've used anything. We don't know like, what our threats are. We're just going in to go in.
Meteor strike.
This is just unlucky. I thought they were low enough to
Is
do
it
something.
unlucky? Or is it just
It was.
planned, you know what I mean?
It was unlucky for me because I kept missing. The Ana was low enough for in my head to be able to finish them off, and get
Okay.
out. But
in my head, this is like
oh yeah, this
chalked
is
from the start. Like this is not.
yeah.
The reason that like you can't kill the Ana here, even if you hit everything, is because the brig is right there. You know what I mean? Like she got packs, she's got Inspire going, she can whip you off of her, all this kind of stuff, right? So yeah, you can be like, oh, this is unlucky, I can't kill the Ana. But in reality, like your chance of killing these people is extremely, extremely low, right? Now, if you had started this, right, this whole chain in this situation, and you still have ult, then it's like much more doable, right? Because then you get a whole nother set of cooldowns, right? But it's just very, very difficult to chew through two supports hitting each other. You know what I mean?
Okay.
With one set of cooldowns. But you do pull a lot of attention for a long period of time, so this Orisa is pretty good. Yeah, so we trade. Not the worst thing in the world.
Destroy them, Bob.
So we were able to push pretty well.
Tactical visor activated.
On the Mercy Res.
I'm not kidding. Enemy here.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Enemy here.
yeah, like so again, I like the fact that you're waiting for your other cooldown to come back, so you have the option of getting out, right? But again, if you don't know that this Ana has sleep, you just have to assume she's gonna immediately try to sleep you, right?
Got it.
Prepare yourself.
And so she does, right?
I think I just get Ana hungry though.
Yeah, for sure. I can see your crosshair like looking at the Ana, trying to get past the Orisa. And then the only
But I
reason that
should've
this
just
Orisa dies is because the main walls are on Orisa. Yeah, the rest is just.
I see one.
Alrighty. So, any questions after that?
Victory.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Let's keep going.
This was an interesting
Ready
match.
for battle.
I was not prepared for this at all.
Ready for
Look at us.
2,
We're amazing.
1. Objective unlocks in 30
I was really late
I'm
because I
sorry.
was watching YouTube because it was such long queue times.
I eat these more drugs than anyone
Honestly,
has
like
ever eaten.
on this map, because like there's such a big straightaway, like Doom can get like really far ahead of his team if he like does the rollout immediately. So it's like, not the worst thing in the world to be like a couple seconds.
Yeah.
Here's the question, right? Where do we think their team's going to set up on a point like this? Let's back up 5 seconds.
A lot of the fights that I've been doing on this map, they always go in the middle for me. Either middle or they hide up in their. They wait for us to
Yeah.
push to them.
Exactly. So their backline's going to set up here, and even if the fight does happen here, right? Generally speaking,
They're
this
still
is like
gonna
not
be
a bad,
up there.
not a bad setup for their backline either way. So if we kind of know, like, if fight happens here, right? This high ground is still strong for them. How do we threaten this high ground and make them like not want to stand here?
Definitely go up and around through the upper middle area, past in the little area.
You could, but it's
No,
just,
up on the high ground area, the
so, like,
middle there.
like this. Yeah.
Similar, yeah, because this is the doors right in the top up there, so you can go through there and just through the like Y section.
talking about this one here?
Yeah, those doors there.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. So are you saying like roll out this way?
Yeah.
Or okay, gotcha. So not the worst idea. But if like once we're here, you know, they're let's say hit scans or whatever are over here, like it's very difficult for us to reach them, right? So something like this is a little bit better, right? Even setting up like from here. So you know, seeing again, we need information. We need to know what they're running and what how we can work around it, right? But if you're gonna go right side, right, we want to get to something like here as quickly as possible, right? So that they can't feel comfortable walking past this line here. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. But I think yeah, it's fine for now.
Over here.
Yeah, because we have the opportunity to already be here by the time the soldier walks up, right?
Yeah. I think I was changing stuff.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, so like again, nice kill. Like you're hitting all your abilities and all this kind of stuff, but you should just die here, right? This one is
I'm surprised I didn't.
yeah, your Weaver just like
My Life Weaver helped me so many times out of like sticky situations. I'm thankful for him.
Obviously, like good, like that's nice, but you shouldn't. The less resources you require from your team, the better. You know what I mean? Die again here. But we get the trade. You get your one.
I love this game. We're pulling ahead. I'm with
Yeah, we should die here again.
Life Weaver.
I thank you. Well done.
Nice. Taking the relevant next position. Good.
A pleasure.
Okay, so then we actually kind of give it up a little bit early, right? Because if we're expecting fight to happen here, right?
I should be up there. I shouldn't be contesting the
approach
middle
from this
there.
angle here, right? That's good.
My ultimate is almost ready.
There's a big sniper punch.
I thank you.
Nice kill, right? And then we're also again importantly, this isn't like a position where like, oh, we should just be dead, because look at where we're ending relative to the enemy team. Right?
Yeah, they're kind of like there's a
already
wall
backing
here.
up.
I can go into the area over there if they push back in.
Yep, exactly. There's a lot of natural cover. Like they're already backing up, all this kind of stuff. So even if Ana sleeps you, it's like not the best in the world.
Yeah.
What the heck?
I have no idea.
Okay.
It's go time.
This is something we should
is
die
bad.
for. Right?
I was close to my ult in my head, so I was
fair.
like, okay, I could probably get it fairly quickly from this if I get all of them, which I did.
Yeah. So again, like I like that you're considering this, but you need to consider the things that are going to stop you from getting your ult before you die. You know what I mean?
Like if I got like slept or javelined or anything
exactly.
there, it would have just ruined the
of
entire
above.
idea.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you like, let's say like as you're charging this punch, you get slept or speared, right? Or this punch gets Suzered or something. Oh, if you get Suzered, honestly, like you're probably fine because you'll go past them. But you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of things that can just throw a wrench into your plan here and just cook you. Like way faster than you can get 13% off. Nice. Yeah, I like this, right? Because you going deeper is you getting out, right? So it's fine.
Meteor strike. My cover. Remain with
I think a lot of it was also we were just like, dominating them, so I got really cocky in a lot of the fights and situations.
But again, like the ends should not justify the means or anything like that. Yeah, I like this. Yeah, this is really good. Setting up on this angle so that it's tough for them to walk apart. Really nice. Yeah, nice. Changing your angle. This is good. Right, getting out with the slam to finish off is phenomenal. this is bad, right?
Yeah,
Just
I
once you're here.
didn't. I've never been in that corner before, so I didn't know where.
Approaching
I thought there was more room behind
destination.
me, so I was able to walk back. But I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
couldn't.
got it. Nice, your Weaver bails you out again. This is also bad.
Yep.
Okay. These are up a lot.
Taste my feast of justice.
One more for the road. Alright. So let's quickly talk about, or any questions first, actually.
No.
Approaching the final destination.
Let's quickly talk about what we feel like we did well in this SWOT review. First thing I want to commend you on is there's definitely been like a way, like very obviously concerted effort into shooting tank less. Because before that was like a kind of a problem in your gameplay, and now like you barely shot tank until like the tank was like the very last thing to shoot, right? So I think it's fine, right? So huge effort on that. Good job. That's like awesome to see. And then like there are times where I do see you like using cover and stuff like that, like you said, like setting up on these short range off angles, for example, like here, right? And then it was way more prevalent on the other map too, right? And getting close first and then using your abilities to either further the fight or get out, right? A couple times, right, where it did like the bad habit of like sniper punching and like really reaching for those engagements kind of came through. But apart from that, like there's clearly been like a lot of work put into that, so that's awesome to see. Good stuff. Okay.
Thank you.
Now let's talk about your new big takeaways, right? Because obviously always room for improvement.
Definitely.
Yeah. What do you think is your biggest area of improvement?
I would say watching for the enemy cooldowns.
Yeah.
Definitely, and trying not to just dive into their team whenever they have all the cooldowns ready for. That's a big thing with me.
Yeah.
I need to just stop just going for the clip farming, I guess, that kind of thing.
So one thing I'll say is like all of your there's three main points in my head, right? But all of them can be grouped under like the larger point that your mobility is your survivability. Okay. Okay. So first thing is first, right? Is like you said, cooldown tracking. Okay. So it's probably not something you're very used to, right? It's fine. It's not something you're not really doing like in every game.
Yeah.
But as you get better at the game, it just becomes something you have to do. Like every hero, every game, against every hero, you know what I mean? You just have to know, right? So cooldown tracking. For Doom specifically, all of the CC abilities take priority. Okay. So things like on a sleep, the stuff we talked about before, right? Sleep, spear, hinder, all this kind of stuff, right? Okay. One thing that's going to help you do this more often and more consistently is to just say it out loud, right? You can say it to yourself if you're not in team chat. You can call it in voice if you are, right? Even if your teammates are not in voice, I want you to just call it so you're like getting in the habit of just keeping track of this kind of stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. And it's not like you have to know like what the exact number cooldown is for every single ability. You just have to like develop some sort of overall sense of like how how if it's a short cooldown or if it's a long cooldown, right? So for example, like if you see Brig Bash, you like have a memory of Brig bashing in the fight, but it was a little while ago, you should know like, okay, she might have it again, maybe that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas if you see on a sleep, then you know she's not going to have it for like a little bit longer. Does that make sense? Perfect. Okay. So I'll say verbally call this out loud to either yourself or your teammates in voice. Okay. And then like knowing this is going to help you like work around it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. I think this also could improve my communication with teammates as well.
Yeah, that's definitely part of it. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So one thing I'll say is, you can also try to bait cooldowns, by dodging them.
Okay.
Obviously, the easiest dodge is your ult, just because it just makes you intangible and it's like one of the fastest activations, right? But there's other examples. So, for example, against Sombra, right? It's easier to dodge Sombra hack with slam than it is with punch, because punch you have to charge to get really moving, right? Obviously, there's the tech where if you hold space and tap right click, like it'll immediately punch for you, but you don't go as far, right?
Oh, okay.
Are you aware of that tech, or is that something? Is that new?
No, that's something new.
Oh, okay. We should probably we'll talk about it after, but
Sure.
yeah. So the reason that Sombra hack is easier to dodge with Slam is because Slam is instant mobility, where like whereas the punch you have to charge, right? And so even if the hack goes through, a lot of times it will like cancel your jump, but you're already moving, so you maintain the momentum and you like have like a shorter jump, but you're still jumping. Does that make sense? Yeah. Whereas if you try to charge and you get hacked, you're just like you're standing still, so you're just dead. Okay. So yeah, so knowing how like your different abilities interact with different things is like pretty important with Doomfist, right? So you can also try to dodge or try to bait CDs by dodging them, all this kind of stuff. Good stuff. Alrighty. And then one thing more that I'm kind of blanking on. Oh yeah, okay. One more thing, right? Again, mobility is your survivability. So where you start your mobility is also super important, right? So especially on offense, right? Change your angle of approach.
Mm-hmm.
You don't always want to be diving in like head first where they can all see you, right? It just makes it very, very easy to stop whatever you're doing or like play around whatever you're doing, right?
Yeah.
From unexpected slash off angles. Okay. They don't even necessarily need to be like surprises all the time. They just need to be an angle that the rest of your team is not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Alright. Okay. Last thing I'll say here is like good rule of thumb. Right. One CD in, one CD out. Does that make sense?
Yep. I think we did talk about that.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Okay. So like maintaining that rule of thumb, like especially when you don't know the status of their cooldowns, like let's say you're just not sure, right? And just make sure you're saving one CD in, one CD out. Okay.
Okay.
Good stuff. Alrighty. Any other questions?
No, not that I'm aware of yet.
Okay. So let's quickly talk about some Doom techs that are important to know.
Mhm.
So, which Doom techs do you know? I guess is the better question.
Our future will be forged
Not
in
really off the top of my head, to be honest. I know you can bunny hop after punch and stuff.
After punch.
Yeah. It gives you a little bit
cancel
of...
it to do
Yeah.
anything? Okay, yeah. So one more thing to know is like on slam, if you start your slam without jumping, right? And you cancel it, you can bunny hop as well.
Oh, that's something I didn't know.
Yeah, that's just like honestly, there's like and then like an advanced application of that tech is like something like this, where you go like bunny hop and punch after to get like a wider swing around the edge or something like that.
no match.
But honestly, that's like pretty advanced. You don't really need to know that. It's like kind of just nice to know. Yeah, something like this. But yeah, okay. The super important thing you do need to know, right? And this is actually like, I use this at least like 3 times a game on Doom, right? Whereas if you hold space, right, and then you just tap your right click, it'll immediately do the like the bunny hop thing that you were kind of like the jump cancel of the punch.
Oh, okay.
It'll immediately do it. So you don't have to like always.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. That is very good to know.
Yeah.
It's a lot faster than just tapping it too.
Yeah, exactly. But the caveat to it is obviously like you only go so far, and so you have to just
But
be aware
it's
that
good
like
for those like if I'm in a corner or something, I'm not going far anyways. I just needed to get like a
exactly. You just need
small
to-
pushback.
Yeah, exactly, perfect. Now the other thing you need to know is that like whenever you jump cancel something, you're not going to punch somebody. So just be aware of that, right? So like let's say
Yeah.
here.
Dodge this.
Okay,
I wreak chaos.
so something like this, right? I'm just not going to punch him, right? So it's just something to be aware of. And then, obviously,
Never turn your
do you
back
know
on
that you can
French.
charge punch as you're slamming?
I did not know that. Oh yeah, that. Okay.
Perfect.
That's what you meant.
So like let's say you're like fighting somebody and then like you punch and then you're fighting and then you can hear the Sombra starting to hack you. You just immediately slam out because like, you don't have to spend the time to charge the punch and then hit out. Does that make sense? What else? Is there anything really important to know?
You can. I can't believe I've played this game for so long. I didn't realize you can slam left and right. Kind of like you can move left and right a little more. It's more directional.
Oh yeah. So
I never used WAS and D.
Yeah. And you can actually, it's really important to know for if you hold S, because you can shorten your hop.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like that's like
Okay.
honestly the more common application. Yeah.
I should definitely do more research into these things. I just kind of play the game and I'm like, okay.
That's fair. No, honestly, like a lot of the Doom techs are like nice to know, but you don't really need to know them. The ones that you need to know are like the jump cancels, like charging your punch as you slam, that kind of thing. The fact that you can cancel, so if you jump cancel your punch and then slam, you like go flying like way faster, right? Like this, right? Really far.
I do that sometimes by an accident, and I'm like, oh, I went a lot farther than
Yeah. So and the most common use of that is like if you're rolling at a spawn.
Yeah.
You just like want to get like across the map really fast. Alright. What else is there to know? Oh, importantly, you can block the cancel jump too. Right?
Okay.
So let's say you're like
I see a lot of
getting away
people
from something
going
really fast. It's like,
into the sky, and then blocking down and stuff. Interesting.
block like this. One really common use of this is if your punch is on cooldown, because you can do it with punch too, but let's say the Diva's bombing, right? So you know how the Diva bombs, like she gets out of her mech and then she has to re-mech to get back into her mech, right? So what you can do is, let's say the Diva bombs on this Mega, right? And the Diva is like running away from you as she's like planning to re-mech, right? Like this, the bomb explodes, so you get your power punch, and you punch her out of the re-mech.
Okay.
Yeah. That's like a very common like Diva versus Doom interaction. You can save that here, and then punch again, because it'll refresh your cooldown.
Okay.
Anything else that's important to know? Oh, diags, I guess, are like the next step if you really want to get to Doom techs. But honestly, I don't really use them that often.
What is that?
Not like super. Not like super. So basically, like the way Doomfist punch works, if it hits like a slanted object, is that it will like fly at the angle of the slant, right? But there's like a certain caveat to it, so that like, you know, obviously if I'm punching, let's say I'm punching this way, okay? If I wait too long, I will hit the orange part, and then nothing will happen, right? But if I can time it well so that like my knees are right about like at the edge of this orange thing, right? It can like send me diagonally upwards. It will send me diagonally upwards and it'll like fly into the sky.
Oh.
Like that.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so you can get a lot of verticality off of like.
So using like slopes and such like that.
Yeah, exactly. And then you can also do it downwards too, where you're like punch down, so you hit your head on top and you punch downwards. But honestly, it's a little bit more difficult.
Okay.
But yeah, I really don't practice like all this timing stuff.
This is your war.
Yeah. Like the diag stuff. Yeah, there we go. The diag stuff, because it's just not as necessary to know. But all the like the Doomfist like one tricks in top 500, they definitely know it. Like they got that shit on lock. You know what I mean? Because there's like a couple spots on very specific maps that like diags are really strong. But outside of those, like honestly, like you don't need to know them. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I do have a question.
Yeah.
I see how your key binding is. Is that a common key bind for everything? Or is that just preferences?
This is pretty common for, especially for Overwatch 1 players, because
I remember
on E and so this is just what I've used like since the beginning of Overwatch 2. But it doesn't really matter, as long as like, you know, as long as whatever you're comfortable with.
Face my burning fist.
I don't know if it's better for like muscle memory or something like that.
Nah, it doesn't.
Dodge this.
Yeah. So getting, and then obviously, is there anything with ults that you need to know?
Huh? I don't think so.
One thing to know with ult is that if that's like honestly not really that important.
So for like if I was to ult somebody, I know that you should position not directly on top of them all the time because they will just walk away from it. Should I like try and like predict where they're going then?
Oh yeah. So basically, your ult is like garbage, right? You're,
Yeah.
like it does barely any damage unless they're like in the direct, like exact middle, right? So honestly, like most of the time when I ult, I'm not doing it with the plan of like, oh, I'm gonna do a lot of damage with it. I'm doing it with the plan of that it's gonna give me back my cooldowns, and you know, that's why the ult is strong, because it's a second life, right? The outside of that, like any kills you get with ult are like nice to have, but like it's very rare that it actually like works out. You know what I mean?
I do have a bad habit of after the ult immediately punching. I see like a lot of people do that, and then they just get immediately slapped or stunned. I think slamming out is a lot better first, or getting like a better position.
So if you know that the Ana has sleep, then you like it's actually impossible to avoid if the Ana's good enough, right? Because like there's a few frames where you just can't move, right? But you can like hold down E and like aim up, so that like if the Ana's timing is a little bit off, which oftentimes it is, right? Then you'll get slept, but like you'll still fly up. You know what I mean? Kind of like the Sombra hack. That makes sense.
You are vulnerable.
I see. Yep.
Yeah. The only time I would charge my punch immediately after ult is if I know for a fact I have nothing that can stop it.
Yeah, like if you're already going for like a lot of kills or whatever, like just already like a finisher kind of thing.
Well, not just a finisher. It's just like, okay, does Break have bash? No, then I can charge. Does On of Sleep? No, then I can charge. Is there a Hog Hook? No, then I can charge. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, and then that's pretty much it. That's all like really the necessary stuff you really need to know. Is there really anything else? Nah, not really, honestly. Yeah.
Well, I'll be back
you can
when
turn
I'm,
punch. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, alright.
I'll be back when I'm diamond then.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Sounds good. Yeah, and again, like it's just like last time, you know, just reach out if you have any questions or progress updates and all this kind of stuff. And yeah, I'm glad to see, you know.
Yeah, I'll definitely be more communicative with it and send you some reports here and there and just show you my progress.
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool. Thank you for your time.
Of course. Let me stop the recording there.